So first things first, I want to quickly clear something up about the last video. A lot of you mentioned that it sounded like the voice was a you generated. To be clear, that's not the case. I always use my real voice here. What I think happened was this. In that video, we played a clip of a German analyst discussing XRP. Since he was speaking in German, I believe YouTube automatically used its dubbing feature, probably YouTube dubbed to translate it, which made it sound like the whole video was a I voiced. That wasn't us. It's just a random technical hiccup, which does happen sometimes. So don't worry, guys. We'll never use AI to replace my voice. Everything you hear on this channel is me, and it'll stay that way. With that cleared up, let's jump straight into today's topic. Now, today is an important date, the 13th, and on this 13th date, we've got a huge event. All 5 World Liberty Financial is ringing the opening bell at NASDAQ. On top of that, the Trump family is putting in up to $1.5 billion into the altcoin market through. It's all 5. That's massive news for crypto and shows just how much adoption is happening right here in the US, and the big question everyone's asking, how much of that money could potentially end up in XRP? It remains to be seen. But what's clear is that all of this is unfolding on a 13 date during the 33rd week, something that lines up perfectly with what many in the XRP community have been predicting. On top of that, Donald Trump himself has said the current financial system is outdated and needs to be replaced with something faster crypto, which strongly points toward XRP being part of the new system. So yes, what XRP insiders have been talking about seems to be taking shape. With Trump now embracing crypto as the backbone of America's financial future, when we talk about the payment system both here in the US and globally, most people don't realize what's actually happening behind the curtain. In fact, about 99% of the population has no clue. The only ones who really see it are folks in the XRP community, people following ISO tokens or viewers of this channel. Right now, a massive transformation is underway, and it's happening quietly in the background as we speak. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Trump is reportedly considering bringing in the National Guard to both New York and Chicago. But this isn't about fighting crime. This is about physically protecting the financial exchanges and settlement systems. So, does this mean Trump is preparing the ground to roll out XRP? That's the big question. He even pointed out the problems. In Chicago, calling out both the mayor and Governor Pritzker as completely incompetent, Trump mentioned how Pritzker's own family forced him out of their business. Yet now he's governor, and apparently even has ambitions of becoming president. Trump mocked that idea, saying Pritzker is a gross incompetent, though he jokingly noted that the governor recently lost some weight, so maybe he has a shot. Trump also compared it to Los Angeles, saying that if action hadn't been taken a few months back, LA would already be in flames. The bottom line, Trump is making moves to secure the country's major financial hubs, New York, Chicago, and beyond, which ties directly into this ongoing shift in the monetary system. New York remains the heartbeat of America's financial system. And now, straight out of NASDAQ, we're seeing signs that institutional money is moving beyond just Bitcoin right into assets like XRP. In fact, there's direct confirmation that the top 1% are positioning themselves in XRP. What's exciting here is that institutions are no longer only focused on Bitcoin. They're starting to understand the broader fundamentals of other digital assets and their real-world use cases. Think of it this way. We're building tomorrow's financial wallet. Inside this new wallet, each major crypto asset plays a specific role. Bitcoin is digital gold. With its fixed supply and borderless design, it acts as a hedge against inflation and failing currencies. It's censorship-resistant, stored with just a password instead of a vault, and it's the first mover of this entire system. Ethereum is like the app store of finance. With smart contracts, it powers trading, lending, borrowing, and yield, all without banks. Owning ETH is like holding the fuel that runs this 24/7 open-source operating system. XRP is the bridge. It powers instant cross-border payments. Banks can swap dollars for XRP, send them across the globe in seconds, and instantly cash out in local currencies. This could slash remittance fees from the current 7% all the way down to under 1%. Solana acts as the high-speed rails. With hundreds of transactions per second at ultra-low cost, it can handle everyday things like subway taps, in-game purchases, or loyalty rewards seamlessly in the background. Stablecoins like USDC are essentially tokenized dollars. Backed by short-term treasuries, they combine crypto speed with the reliability of US debt, effectively turning your phone into a real-time dollar account, spendable anywhere in the world. Put all of this together, and what you have is an entirely new financial ecosystem being built piece by piece. And here's the key through Ripple's partnerships. XRP is positioned right at the center of this transformation, quietly becoming the backbone of the next global financial system. One of Ripple's most important partnerships is with EastNets. Now, here's why that matters. EastNets is directly connected to SWIFT, the backbone of international payments. Recently, we even saw confirmation from Water Guru that SWIFT is set to use XRP, and with Ripple teaming up with EastNets, that means a direct bridge to SWIFT, ISO 20022 standards, and over 800 banks and central banks worldwide. Through this connection, XRP's distributed ledger technology brings instant settlements, eliminating SWIFT's notorious delays and makes cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and far more efficient. Of course, many of you in the XRP community already know this, but this is exactly how Ripple is positioning itself to reshape and eventually dominate the global financial system. That's all for today's video. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.